This year, honestly, has been one of the toughest years of my life. You know, when you run into problems, you're taught how to deal with it or solve it. But when it came to grief, that was something that I didn't know how to deal with or even understand. So because of that, it nearly ruined me. The death of my dad was unexpected, and so it was a huge shock to me. I didn't understand what it meant that he was gone. So the year he died, which was last year, I was just 1 month into a new job and I was on probation. So I was conflicted between being good at my job, as it was a very huge role. It was my first time being a senior software engineer, so I needed to prove that they didn't make a mistake by hiring me. And also I had to deal with the fact that my dad was no more. A few weeks after his death, we started planning the burial. Everything felt wrong at that time. My brain hadn't really processed what was happening. It felt like an out-of-body experience. I was even creating content around that period. I'm assuming it was also me being in denial. I wanted to not think about it, so work was keeping me occupied. But I knew something was wrong. I knew something wasn't going well mentally. So now I live in Germany, and back then I was still on a work visa. So I needed to pass that probation to be qualified to apply for permanent residency, because completing that probation will give me a minimum of 13 months that I have paid tax, which will make me qualified to be a permanent residency here in Germany. So I think the company at that period also gave me like 2 days or 3 to deal with it and come back to work. So I powered through. The burial was for January, and from my research and also talking to people who had lost a parent, I heard that the burial kind of gives you some form of closure and that I shouldn't worry, that I'll feel better after the burial. Around September, my body was on autopilot. I honestly don't remember how those months passed, because I was walking, crying, but I didn't understand what was going on. Now after the burial, I'm like, oh, okay, things are going to make sense. I thought the tears I had shed from that August to January would be it, because every single day from his death day to the burial, I cried. Some days I would even shout at myself for crying. I had this daily constant headache. I didn't let people, see me, because for some reason I'm like, you can't keep bombing everyone. Do you want people to have to console you every single day because you lost your dad? So the best time was whenever I was either having my bath or at night when I'm going to bed. So I would easily scream and cry into my pillow. I thought I was healed and better because I spent December and January with my mom and my siblings, so it was very wholesome and very healing and liberating. We laughed every blessed day. We're so happy, because one thing that I really appreciate my parents for is that they raised us with a lot of love, so we love spending time with one another. Now after the burial, they've gone back to their respective places. I came back to Germany. That was when my brain finally caught up with the physical, that my dad was gone, and that was when my misery really started. Grief defeated me. I won't even lie to you. I wanted to not exist anymore. Waking up became a nightmare. I had this outrageous hatred for everything. Going back to work became a nightmare. I dreaded it so much. I cried every single day to work. I had passed my probation. I had an appointment in February to apply for permanent residency. So I didn't understand what was going on with me mentally. I felt like I was mentally ill, like real madness. The only difference was just that I wasn't on the street. It felt like someone filled up a room without windows, but filled it with smoke and then locked me in that room. I felt very blind. I felt deaf, dumb, crippled, and weak. I applied for the permanent residency in February. I thought of quitting my job immediately, but then my friends told me, I should wait till I pick up the card at least. So I just waited till I picked up the card, and that was a match. So now, because I knew I needed time off work, and I also knew it was a hard ask, but then I tried to ask my company if they could grant me 2 to 3 months unpaid leave so that I could go and fix myself up. Because the way I was feeling, I knew something bad was going to happen to me one way or the other. I knew I needed that break immediately. So they said they couldn't grant me that the best option they had was for me to resign. So I agreed without even thinking twice, because if they had not agreed to give me the break, I was just going to resign immediately. I even sought therapy, because some people like, talk to people, talk to someone. I tried that, but it was as if my brain didn't just understand anything. It was as if nothing was working at all. So as of 31st March, that was my last day at work. I'm like, okay, at least now no pressure from anyone. I was a permanent resident, so no one would tell me that I have to go back to work immediately, and then there was no manager telling me what to work on, so there was no pressure at all from anywhere. Now you would think that, okay, she will rest now, right? I then thought that, okay, with this time I can pursue what I want. My brain was like, yeah, you have time now to pursue content creation and do all those mighty things you wanted to do. And because everyone around me was working, I felt like, yeah, that's what I need to do. The difference is there is no pressure. I'll work at my pace, I'll do what I want to do. So resigning made me feel relief for like 2 weeks or a week. After 2 weeks or thereabout of resigning, I started creating content. I was publishing even on my 2 YouTube channels. I was creating content on TikTok. Now you would think, all she needed was for her to do what made her happy. But then I slowly started realizing that the more I created content, the more I hated it. So it was a shock to me because I had already told people that, I'm resigning to do something that I love, that this is what I wanted to do, this is what I wanted to pursue, which was content, right? So I kept hating creating content more and more. I started dreading the question of, what are you doing today? Knowing fully well that it comes from a good place. The question, what are you doing today? Or what have you been doing since you resigned? Or when are you going back to work? It became a huge source of anxiety to me. Like, I'll be in my room, I wouldn't want to come out so that I won't have to meet my housemates and be like, what are you doing today? Or maybe when I meet my friends or even people online, what are you doing? What have you been doing? How is it going? It was a huge source of anxiety to me because I was crippling because I felt like the problem was the 9 to 5. But then you have free time now. So where is the content? Where is the business? Where is this? Where is that? Like, I felt like I was doing something wrong. Like, no work is stopping you now. So you're supposed to be on fire. That was how I felt. But then I wasn't doing any of those things. Rather, I was stuck on my bed. I didn't want to wake up. I didn't want to open my blinds or curtain, whatever you call it. I just wanted to be in the dark and I didn't want to see anybody. Mind you that I'm still in that locked room. The difference was that it got worse. The smoke in the room kept on increasing, which meant my work wasn't the problem. That was when I realized that, the 9 to 5 wasn't the problem at all. At this point, I started eating my emotions. I felt so inadequate. I felt very powerless. I'm gaining weight drastically. I'm burning through my savings. I'm not building or doing anything at all. So I felt so stuck. People have moved on. I felt like all the effort and hard work I had done all these years have gone to waste. I'm 29 with no life goal, no plan, nothing excites me, no passion for anything. The room just kept getting smokier, if that is a word, but the brain fog was going crazy. I cried every single day. I would eat and eat and eat until a point where I would feel like throwing up. I remember at some point, sometimes when I order something, I rush into my room to hide so that nobody will see the amount of food I ordered. May, June, July, nothing meaningful happened. But one thing that I kept constant was talking to God. I wouldn't say that, the relationship was the best. I just know that He always says, "Come to me, all you who are heavy laden, and I will give you rest." So because I did not understand what was going on with me, I'm like, let me go back to the Creator who brought me here. I had gained about 15 kg. Now my health was at risk. My brain couldn't still process anything. I couldn't walk for 10 minutes without being in severe pain. I had this very excruciating back pain that I thought was related to cancer because my hair kept on falling off hugely. I would wake up, my hair would be everywhere on my pillow. Don't get me started with the knee pain. I won't be able to sit for like 10 minutes without this huge pain between my abdomen here and then the knee pain. It was that bad. Like, I couldn't climb the staircase, and coming down was as painful as going up. I went for several blood analyses, visited an orthopedic, did physiotherapy. Nothing was working. So I just kept asking God for one thing. I was telling Him, please God, cause me to see again. Like, take me out of this smoky room, open my eyes, because I felt so blind. I was just begging Him every morning when I pray, God, cause me to see. So around August, one day I was praying, and what I heard or kept hearing that morning prayer was acceptance. I need to accept myself. I need to accept my reality. I need to accept what has happened. Accept that I was tired. Accept that it's okay that my dad is gone. Accept that life is not perfect. Accept that things can go wrong. Accept that I don't have to have everything all figured out. I need to accept that the road is not straight. I need to accept that, I can make mistakes. I also need to accept that I can sit and not be productive all the time. Accept that I needed help. Accept that God didn't leave me, that He has been with me all this while. Accept that I had overworked myself for years and taking a break doesn't make me a loser. Accept that maybe what I wanted for my life before isn't what is going on now, and it is okay. Accept and make peace with everything. Guys, that day I bawled. I cried for over 2 hours because it just felt like the reality I had in mind and what I was living were two freaking worlds apart. My dad was like a compass in my life, so I didn't know how to navigate life without him being there anymore. So as I slowly each day started accepting and making peace with things started slowly making sense again. I was set to go for a surgery, which I will talk about in a separate video. The surgery really saved me. It went successfully and I'm healing very well. Mentally, the brain fog started reducing that drastically. I feel happier waking up in the morning. I still don't know what I want to do with my life, and that's okay. I feel happier these days. I look better too. My health is under control. I'm starting to lose weight again. I feel lighter and I'm closer to God and I'm building a stronger relationship with Him. I'm going to keep trying different things and taking my time to build myself up again. I'm starting afresh, which is very okay. Everything is not back to normal, but the smoke isn't as thick as it used to be before. I can think better now. I'm learning, this new person. I'm learning to accept. I'm learning that I can grow again. And I'm also reminding myself, and funny enough, I forgot that I was smart, honestly. So I'm remembering now how smart I am, because my dad was a very huge part of my life and he was such a present dad. Like, he was too present in my life, so the hole he created was way too much that my brain could not fathom. So I'm happy to grieve him. I believe he's in a better place and he's watching. I believe things are getting better and will get better going forward. Look at it. I created content today. I even edited it and I'm going to upload it, or I've uploaded it because you're watching it. I used to chat with ChatGPT and ChatGPT told me to just keep creating and slowly the passion will be back. But if it doesn't come back, it is also okay. It means that probably this is not what I'm supposed to do and I would find something else. But the main thing is for me to take action, and by taking action I would know what I want and what I don't want. I've also been interviewing too. I couldn't think of that 2 months ago or even 3 months ago. So if you're grieving and it feels like the world has crumbled, and it will also look like people have moved on and you're stuck in this place and you can't pick yourself up again, I pray that you find hope and hold on to it, so that you can come out better on the other side. So I'm taking it one day at a time and wishing myself the best and God's guidance. I miss my dad every single day. I pray for him. I think about him every day. I pray for him often. The tears has reduced now. I smile more at the thought of him, and I want to remember him that way. May he continue to rest in peace. Amen. There is no one way to grieve, and you can't escape it. So just take your time to grieve the loss of your loved one. They say that grief is a reward for love. It shows that you loved. It doesn't make you weak. It's not something to be ashamed of. There is no time limit. Oh, you're supposed to stop grieving by now. No, don't let anyone make you feel bad about it. With time, you will learn to accept, and the memories you have about the person will keep you going. Pray for them, wish them a great journey, bless their path. That's what I do for my dad every blessed day. I love you so much, Daddy, and I miss you every day. August 15 made it 1 year since his passing. So guys, slowly I'm beginning to pick up the pieces of my life again, and I'm starting to see life in a whole different new lens now, and I'm learning my new self. I'm trying to learn things that this new person likes and can do, and slowly trying to build up my discipline and resilience again, and I'm taking it one day at a time. So yeah, I just wanted to share this. Thank you so much. If you go to the end, I appreciate you. Thank you for listening to me. I'm able to fully come back and create content more now, but if I'm not able to come back again, that will be it. But I'm hoping that I find that love and passion for it again, because I really enjoyed it back then. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Make sure you have a lovely day, and bye.